Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be using our Ninja Foodi Pressure Cooker to make a beef rump roast with root vegetables and pan gravy. And the whole thing is going to take less than 40 minutes. So you ready? Let's get into this. For this recipe we have a 2.5 pound rump roast, some beef broth, a little bit of salt and pepper. We're not really going to measure these out because you're going to be using these to season to your liking. Our dry herb combination, these are whole peppercorns here, a little bit of rosemary, and 1 bay leaf. Some white pearl onions, baby bella mushrooms, baby carrots, quartered red potatoes, some peeled garlic cloves, a little bit of oil. We've separated this out because some of it is going to be for the meat and some of it is going to be for the vegetables. A little bit of cornstarch, and last but not least, a little bit of water. By the way, if you'd like to make this recipe, all the ingredients and measurements are down in the description of the video, along with the calorie count, the protein, the carbs, and the fat. First, we're going to take a large mixing bowl, and we're going to throw in our potatoes, our baby carrots, our pearl onions, our mushrooms, one of our things of oil, and we're going to season this with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. If you have any doubt about how much of this to use, remember, less is more. You can always add more later if you want a little bit more seasoning, but it's a lot harder to get rid of it if you over-season in the first place. So just remember that. Once you have all that stuff in the mixing bowl, we're going to go ahead and stir this up really well, just to make sure we get that oil evenly coated on all of our stuff. Okay, once you have this mixed up, we're going to set this aside. For our next step, we're going to take our rump roast, and we're going to use the rest of our oil on this. And we're going to rub that into the surface really good. Just get a nice, even coat on this thing. Make sure you get it all the way around. Next, we're going to season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. Remember, you want to get all of the surfaces of this meat. You don't just want to put it on the top. You want to get the sides and the bottom as well. Again, you can put as much or as little on this as you want. As far as the salt goes, I would probably chill out on that just a little bit because the beef broth is going to be a little bit salty by itself. But as far as the pepper goes, that loses a lot of its spice as you heat it up. So you're pretty free to use as much of that as you want. I personally like to use a lot of pepper. And that's not something you really need to be afraid of. It looks like I'm putting tons and tons of this on. But like I said, it gets really mild over time while you're cooking. Just think when you order a pepper steak, it doesn't taste like tons and tons of pepper on it. That's because it loses a lot of that harshness during cooking. And once we get it looking like this, we can go ahead and start working with our pressure cooker. Next, we can open up the Ninja Foodi Pressure Cooker, and we want to make sure the only thing we have in here is the non-stick pot. We're going to add in our dry herbs, our garlic cloves, and our beef broth. Now we want to stir this up just to make sure everything is combined. Once you get that combined, we're going to be using our reversible rack. If you look at this, you can see that one side is really high and one side is really low. I could put it in this way and it's for the steam feature, but if I turn it in this way, it's more for a broil feature. We want this to be down at the bottom, and if you've used the right amount of beef broth here, you'll see that you're not quite dipping this down into the liquid. That's good because we don't want the meat sitting in the liquid or anything like that. Now we can take our roast and we're going to set that right in the middle of the rack here. And we're going to put some of our vegetables in around the sides. Just like that. Next, we can close this up. We're going to turn on our pressure cooker. And we're going to steam and crisp. For this machine, we have to put this dial in the center here. Once you have it on steam and crisp, we're going to set the temperature to 365 degrees. And we want our steak to be about a medium or so we're going to set this for 30 minutes. Also, it's a good idea to check this vent up here before you get started just to make sure this is not open. Once you got your settings all ready to go, just go ahead and hit start. And this is going to sit on the pre-cook for a little bit. That means it's going to be doing the steaming. Once your timer starts counting down, then you know it's gone over to the crisp mode for you. All we got to do now is wait. Okay, so once this gets finished, we can go ahead and open this up. And we're going to use some tongs and remove all of our vegetables. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks, and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Once you remove those vegetables, we can go ahead and take this rack out, and we're going to let this beef rest for about 10 minutes on the cutting board. While that's resting, we can finish our gravy. So you want to fish around in here and find that bay leaf that we have in here, because you want to get rid of that thing. And there it is right there. For this part, I would go ahead and turn this back on. You can just use the same settings. We just want to make sure that this doesn't cool down. And we're going to take our cornstarch and we're going to slowly mix in that water that we have on the side. This works a little bit better if you use hot water. You can take that water and throw it in the microwave. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's just a little bit easier to do. And you want to mix this up until you get a nice slurry going on here. Once you've got this mixed up, you can pour it into your gravy, just like that, and stir it in really good. And this is going to help our gravy thicken up for us. We're going to let that heat up for a couple of minutes. Our gravy should be done in just a few minutes, so in the meantime we can get our meat and vegetables ready. This has rested plenty already, so this should be ready to go, and it should be a perfect medium inside here. You can see we've developed a nice little crust here. That pressure cooker did a pretty good job for us. So we can slice this up just a little bit. I've gone ahead and arranged all of our vegetables around the edges of this plate and left some space in the middle for the meat. And now all we gotta do is get this on here. Just like that. Now all we need is some gravy and we'll be ready to serve. If you want some more information about Joe's Phenomenal, you can watch a couple more videos or you can check us out online at joesphenomenal.com. Not bad for 40 minutes, eh? This recipe turned out absolutely fantastic. It's super fast, super easy, makes about 5 servings, and tastes great. If you make this recipe, I'd love to hear how it came out down in the comments. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Ninja Foodi Pressure Cooker that we used for this recipe, we do have an Amazon affiliate link to it down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through those links, we do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay 1 cent. If you like this recipe, you might like this recipe right here where we show you how to make beef jerky in the same Ninja Foodi Pressure Cooker. That one takes a little bit longer, but the results are absolutely fantastic. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you again soon, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.